This week in Mustang news, things are blowing up. NASA lost a rocket and Emily Dickinson had a scare.
And students are preparing for the annual DECA blood drive.
I'm Brendan Eckelbarger.
And I'm Jill Rogers, and here is your Mustang news.
Quite a ruckus was stirred up at Emily Dickinson, sending 2 to the hospital and injuring others. Our news crew went to the scene of the incident to find out more.
At 7:40 Monday morning, a small soda bottle bomb went off in the parking lot of Emily Dickinson Elementary School. This occurred before any children arrived at school. 2 bus drivers were preparing for the morning route when one driver was hit by shrapnel. The injured driver was sent to the hospital for minor shrapnel injuries and possible chemical exposure. There are currently no suspects in custody, but male teens are suspected. The investigation is ongoing. Bomb squads were called to search for any additional bottles, but none were found.
Luckily, those who are injured are expected to recover fully. In world news, the RHS rocket in Virginia exploded last week.
A claimed industry leader, Orbital, a company that leads in making spaceships and satellites, made an agreement with NASA that they would deliver a resupply ship to the International Space Station on October 28th.
However, during the launch, the rocket had a failure related to a turbopump and blew up a few seconds after launch. Thankfully, no one was injured. However, this still had a major negative effect on privately funded space exploration companies.
During this incident, there were no injuries, and officials are still investigating why this happened.
DECA is a career-oriented competition for business and marketing. If you're in a marketing or a business law class or any class taught by Miss Brady or Mr. Brunello, you can be in DECA. Maybe you haven't come to any of our meetings before, but you still can. It's not too late to sign up. We do competitions, and at our school we prepare kids for competition at meetings every other week. It's basically business and marketing, and there's a local, state, and international level you can compete at.
Today we have the blood drive going on, and we're going to have a DECA t-shirt day, so all of you guys that have a DECA t-shirt, you should wear one. And we have the state president coming to talk, and we're going to do a teacher appreciation day.
We're going to be doing a lot of community outreach activities with the Ronald McDonald House and other local organizations. We're also going to be doing a lot of fundraising for internationals, flocking, and different corporations we're going to be working with to get money to send kids to ICDC this year.
So there's great travel opportunities. We're going to Orlando this year for DECA Internationals and States in Bellevue, so you get to stay a few nights in a hotel in Bellevue. It looks great on college applications, job applications. There's scholarships available through DECA, and it's a great way to meet new people.
The first thing I would say is come to the meetings. That's the only way you find out about what DECA is and what we do, and it's the best way for you to find out if you're truly passionate about business. DECA has allowed me to network with like-minded people who are interested in business and entrepreneurship, so as I go off to college to study business, I can find other people who are in DECA and grow my social network. This year I'd like to return to ICDC and possibly get on stage as a top 10 finisher. Last year I didn't make it, so hopefully I do that this year.
Hey Jill, do you ever wonder what our teachers were like when they were in school? Like Mr. Notaboom, for example.
No, not really. Like, why would I care about that?
Well, I mean, they went through some pretty cool times, and our new segment tells us exactly that. It's called Back in My Day.
Back in my day, the girl who terrified us the most was Heather Jeffcott. Why Heather Jeffcott? Because Heather Jeffcott was horrible. She wore purple every day. Every day. And she would chase me and my best friend around the North Bellingham Elementary School playground every day during recess, screaming at the top of her lungs, "I'm gonna kiss you till you die, I'm gonna kiss you till you die!" And so we ran, because we were afraid that, like, you know, we were gonna die. So finally we came up with a way to get even with Heather. And I'm not saying I'm proud and I'm not saying it's right, but it worked for us. David one day came over to me and said, "Hey, do you notice how often Heather's playing with her Barbies?" Because Heather played with her Barbies all the time. In fact, she played with Barbies so much it drove the other girls crazy. She came in with caseloads of Barbies like a European hitman bringing in their weapon. Anyway, David said to me one day, "See all those Barbies?" And I said, "Yeah, I see all those Barbies. You want to do something about those Barbies? What about the Barbies? Do you want to do something to them?" And I said, "Sure, let's do something to the Barbies." "Great," he said. "That's exactly what I was thinking." So we came up with a plan. One day at school, in the middle of recess, David comes over to Mrs. Burness, our 5th grade teacher, and says, "Mrs. Burness, I'm not feeling really well. My stomach kind of hurts. Can I just go sit in the classroom, please?" And Mrs. Burton said, why, of course you can, David, because she was Southern. Why, of course you can, David. Just head on in and you relax. I hope you feel better there, honey bunny. Because she called us honey bunny, which I know is kind of creepy, but back in the day it was okay. So I waited about 5 minutes, and then I went up to Mrs. Burton and I said, Mrs. Burton, David Albers is my best friend, and if he can't be happy, I can't be happy. So can I go please sit in class with him, and so he'll feel better? Please? And she said, oh, my little honey bunny. I told you that's how she liked to talk. My little honey bunny, of course you can go sit with your best friend. So I went in, and I didn't sit with my best friend. Oh, no. We broke out all of our stuff because Heather had done what we'd been waiting for her to do for weeks. She'd left her Barbies in the classroom. And it gets to be about the time where recess is over, and that's when David and I go out and we find Mrs. Burtness, and David says, Mrs. Burtness, my stomach's feeling a little bit better. Can I just walk around outside just to feel good about myself because I really want to be part of nature? And Mrs. Burtness went, why, David, that would be lovely. And can my friend Rob hang out with me because he was such a good friend and he took care of me? Why, of course he can. We waited outside of the classroom for the kids to go in, and we waited. Like the Grinch, listening to the little Who's down in Whoville. We waited for the scream, the unadulterated, childish joy of Heather Jeffcott screaming her little head off. We had taken every Barbie, we had strung them from the rafters, and because I was the tall one, as I went outside the classroom, I went bonk, 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 bonk on their feet. So when Heather came in, they were all swinging in perfect unison. Oh, did we get in trouble? Oh, you bet we did. Did I end up losing every recess for a month? Yes, I did, but like Steve McQueen at the end of The Great Escape, going into the Kula, I bounced my little ball inside the classroom while all the other kids played outside. And I felt great and wonderful because I made Heather Jeffcott absolutely miserable back in my day.
Do you have an announcement that needs to be in the school bulletin? Please send any announcements you may have to Pam Suma in the main office. Information for the bulletin is due each Wednesday. See Pam for details.
Seniors, don't forget to turn in your creative writing quote to the yearbook staff. Make sure you write something that represents you. Quotes are due December 5th and will be collected by the yearbook staff in both lunches in the cafeteria.
Looking for volunteer hours?
There are 2 opportunities for you to volunteer coming up.
Come help leadership decorate our school for the holidays. Meet in room C106 on November 21st after school to help spread some seasonal cheer.
Starting every Wednesday, Evergreen Middle School and Horace Mann Elementary are looking for student tutors for all grades and subjects to help students in need. See Miss Dunan in D room 100 for more information and questions.
That's it for this week. This has been another production of the RHS News. I'm Brendan Eckelbarger.
And I'm Joe Rogers. Stay green and gold, Stangs.